Hey guys, John here, the Movie Blog. I wanted to do a follow-up video post on the video blog I did before the weekend about pre-assigned seating in movie theaters. And just to recap quickly, my basic argument was that theaters in North America should have the ability for their patrons to pre-select their seats when they buy their tickets, either online or at the movie theater. Because experiences like going to a popular movie at a midnight screening or an opening weekend, and you gotta go, and this happens to me all the time, you gotta go and stand in line for 2 hours just to make sure you don't have to get a neck breaker seat when you want to go see the movie you want to see. It's a ridiculous, archaic, Neanderthalic system we have that everywhere else in the world has already clued in on and does it. I couldn't believe how many commenters from Germany, Finland, Asia, Africa, Europe, all over the place wrote in and said, wait a minute, you guys in North America don't have pre-selected seating? What's wrong with you? And that's not the way it should be. In North America, we should be leading the way in utilizing technology in our entertainment and things like that. And it's really an embarrassment that we don't have that. Now, one of the things that I said, and you can go back and watch the other video blog, was that there are simply no drawbacks to having a pre-assigned seating system. There are no drawbacks. Now, I think that I might have miscommunicated in such a way that I made it sound like I said, there's no way you shouldn't prefer this. And that's not what I was trying to say. I'm simply saying that even if you prefer not using pre-selected seating, there's still no drawback to you as a moviegoer if the theater you go to has pre-selected seating ability. Now, before I get to that, I want to address some of the common questions that came up in the comment section under the video blog post. And I want to get to those now. Question number 1. Jeremy K. wrote, what happens if you get to the theater and your pre-selected seat has vomit on it or gum? Vomit on it or gum. Okay, let me make a quick observation first. In the 25 years and thousands of times that I've gone to the movie theater in my life, in Canada, in the US, and all over the place, I have never once showed up in a movie theater where there was vomit on the seat. That's not to say that other people haven't had that experience once every 200 or 400 times going to the theater. Let me make this suggestion. If you go to a movie theater where more than once out of every 100 to 200 times you go, there's vomit on the seat, may I suggest you find another movie theater to go to, because there are bigger problems to solve here. Also, in addressing the question, well, what if you have a pre-assigned seat and there's vomit on the seat, or gum, or some other physical problem with the seat? You're assuming that just because you have a pre-selected seat, that means you are trapped in that seat. And if there's vomit on it, the movie theater manager is going to come out and laugh at you and say, ha ha ha, you are trapped in this seat, now sit there in your squalor and enjoy it. No, man. It's like any other theater. If you find a physical problem with your seat, or a problem with a theater, or a problem with a restaurant, if there's a physical problem with your seat, you just call over the usher and say, hey man, can I get moved to another seat? This one's got a problem with it. Now, you might then say, well, what if the theater's full now? What if the theater's packed and you've got nothing but this puke-stained seat, or a seat with a pre-existing problem to it? The thing is, you'd be no worse off than if there was no pre-selected seating and the theater was packed and the only seat left had puke on it. You either sit there and take it, or go and get your money back. Either way, there is no drawback in that scenario of puke or gum on the seat to having a pre-selected seating system, because you can either just change seats, and if you can't change seats, then you wouldn't have been able to change seats in a non-pre-selected theater anyway. So you see, there's no drawback to this system. Alan writes, if you let people pick their seats, they'll leave one seat in between themselves and the next paid-for seats, meaning the cinema will lose money. Alan, that's a great observation, but it's one that the theaters that have pre-selected seating have already addressed. Going back to my example of the ArcLight cinema. If you go online to the ArcLight and go to pre-select your seats online before you go to the theater, it won't let you pick seats that leaves one single empty seat between you and other people. You either have to be able to leave 2 or 3 or more empty seats, or you have to sit beside. And this is a great system, because it means if the theater's not full yet, you can still get your pick of seats anywhere. And if it's getting full, then you're going to have to take seats with 2 spaces in between you, or no spaces in between you, just like you would if you were walking into a full, non-pre-selected seating movie theater. So it's a great observation and a great question, but one that these theaters have already addressed. So the only way you're going to be able to leave single seats is if the theater's already getting full to capacity. So there's no drawback to that, but it's a great question. Jeremy K asks again, my roommate is a paranoid mofo. He won't pay for anything over the internet or phone. So that means he would have to make a special trip to the theater to pre-purchase his tickets and select a seat. Kind of blows for him. First of all, I think you need to tell your friend that 1986 has come and gone. The internet is our friend, and everything is okay. But even if he's still, after you try to counsel him about the friendliness of the internet, if he still doesn't want to use the internet to buy tickets, that's not a problem whatsoever. You see, just because the theater offers the ability to pre-select your seats online does not mean you can't still just go and show up at the theater when you want to see a movie and buy a ticket, just like you can under any other system. The ArcLight Theater offers pre-selected seating, but I'd say about 60% of the movies that I go to at the ArcLight, I don't buy my tickets in advance online. I just go and show up. If it's not the opening weekend for a movie, or I know it's not going to be busy, I just go and show up and buy my ticket. There's no drawback to your friend still wanting to just go and buy his ticket the day of the theater, even though that theater offers pre-selected seating. It's not that I'm trying to say your friend should prefer to pre-select his seat. I'm simply saying that just because a theater offers pre-selected seating for people like me and the majority of other people who would benefit from this, there's no drawback to your friend who doesn't want to take advantage of that. He can still just show up and still just buy his ticket normally. The only difference is he would be pre-selecting his seat as he's standing there at the movie theater ticket counter. So he's just getting his seat 30 seconds earlier than he normally would. That's the only difference. There's no drawback to your friend in this scenario. Captain Pickle writes an interesting one. He says, I imagine theaters would sell a lot less tickets per showing as no one would want to pre-purchase front row assigned seats, whereas when one purchases tickets for a show right before it starts, they might be more prone to settle for front row. Now, Captain Pickle, I'm sure you probably already know this, but let me kind of make the observation here too. Your scenario is suggesting a way that it might be inconvenient for the theater, not for the patron. For the patron, there's no drawback. But here's the advantage for the theater, once again, with the ArcLight Cinemas. When Iron Man was opening up and they had their 12 o'clock in the morning screening, their first screening of Iron Man, that thing sold out very quickly. That first screening sold out very, very, very fast, like 2 weeks in advance. So what the ArcLight Theater was able to do is see that even though there's, all we've got is like 7 or 8 empty seats and they're all neckbreaker seats, they saw how fast the movie sold out and they were able to then make the decision well in advance to add a 2 o'clock in the morning screening. Because that first one filled up, they can feel comfortable knowing that, if we add a 2 o'clock in the morning screening, people will probably be showing up to buy those tickets. They added a 2 o'clock in the morning screening. It sold out. So they said, we can probably add a 2:30 in the morning screening now. So you see, if the theater is getting really booked up really fast and there's only these little sputtering of seats still left available, the theater then has the ability to add another screening and respond to the trend that we, the consumers, are setting. So once again, there's no drawback to us as consumers, and ultimately, it's a benefit to the theater because they can see well in advance how many people are going to be coming to these screenings. It's a really great system. Okay, now once again, let me reemphasize as I recap here that just because I say that there's no drawback to the pre-assigned seating system doesn't mean that one has to prefer the pre-assigned seating system. My only argument is that even if you don't prefer the pre-assigned seating system and want to take advantage of pre-assigned seating, you can still just do things the way you've always done them. You can still just show up to the movie theater when you want to show up and buy your tickets. It's just that the rest of us don't have to stand in line, won't have to worry about whether or not we get a seat, won't have to worry about whether we or our friends can get all of our seats together if we want, or parents bringing a lot of kids to kids' films, and this happens all the time, can get their seats together and don't have to split the kids up. There's just no drawback to the system. You can still do things the old way under this new system if you choose, but I have a feeling you will quickly be won over by the benefits of pre-selected movie systems. Look, some of you agree, I'm sure some of you still disagree, and that's awesome. That's the great thing about the movies and why we get to talk about this stuff. Go ahead into the comments section, leave why you agree with me, or leave comments why you still might disagree. It's all good. For now, that's it for me. For the Movie Blog, I'm John Campea.